is someone his age dating a woman in their 20s? Can we first talk about that, please? Because it's giving manipulation, it's giving control, it's giving power. And I know there's going to be some people who are watching this who are going to be like, well, Olani, it's not against the law. Understand this, please. Sometimes the law is just a set of rules given to idiots who need their hands held from time to time. And that's not to say that we want him to be accused of anyone regardless of their age, okay? If that law wasn't put in place, how young would you really go? Like, how young would you go? What I find most interesting out of all of this, actually, is the fact that, you know, we've seen some of the leaked text messages. She's talking about a big black baby being put inside her, which is very questionable, of course, but it also shows that they had a kinky relationship and nothing more, okay? It doesn't take away from her sexual assault allegation whatsoever. If anything, it just shows us that you once had a kinky relationship. I hate the idea that if a woman has just consented to 99 times, the 100th time can't be an incident, the 100th time can't you be assaulting her?
Diddy just sent the internet into a frenzy after he sent Shannon Sharpe a strong warning from jail amidst the essay allegations against him. Apparently, Diddy's message to him was about how the industry is targeting him to be the next black man to go down. A lot of people feel like Diddy is really trying to clown Shannon, but he is making it look like he's warning him out of the goodness of his heart. If y'all remember, Shannon's Club Shay Shay podcast blew up when he brought Cat Williams on to expose the industry executives, and of course, Diddy was number one on that list, so he really has no reason to be reaching out to Shannon right now, outside of wanting to rub it in Shannon's face that his time is up too. In fact, it's looking like Shannon might go down just like how Diddy did, because the very next day after his 20-year-old ex-girlfriend filed her SA lawsuit against him, another woman also filed a lawsuit accusing him of SA, and word on the street is there are more lawsuits on the way, some of which are from young boys who Shannon was allegedly forcing into DL relationships with him. Shannon has successfully landed himself a spot on the list of powerful black men who allowed their business in the bedroom to destroy their career. And everyone and their mama has been giving their 2 cents about it. Even Stephen A. Smith recently got on his show and he seemingly dragged Shannon for indulging in BS that he knows very well will destroy his career when it comes out. He said we ain't never gotta worry about him ending up like Shannon or Diddy because there are certain things he just wouldn't do.
Thinking beyond myself, just thinking about the world that we live in terms of the podcast stratosphere and everything like that. A lot of people want to walk around thinking you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. You could your own operation. You don't have to answer to anybody. That's not true. I've had people open their mouth and they've said, Stephen A., you work for ESPN. What kind of control do you really have? This is my podcast. This is my YouTube show. I own this. But if you think for 1 second that I could just do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and there's not going to be any repercussions, you're clueless. And you're destined to fail and fall on your face. I'm not talking about Shannon Sharpe. I'm not talking about Shannon Sharpe. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about a climate that we're living in. Some people sit up there and they look at me and they say, Stephen A. don't get himself in this kind of trouble. How does he pull it off? Well, first of all, there's certain behaviors and proclivities that you never have to worry about me engaging in. But most importantly than that, I often say this about Walt Disney. I'd rather work for a place with standards than one looking for them. You know why? Because lines are drawn. And I never have to worry about crossing them because guess what? I've got something there reminding me, hold on. You don't need to do that. It's not a silo. I'm not by myself. I don't get to operate in any way that I want without having to worry about ramifications or repercussions. I always have to be concerned about that. So I'm challenged every day to come on the airwaves and think about the ramifications and repercussions of anything that I do constantly. And because of that, that's an additional guardrail to secure me from putting myself in a position that could jeopardize myself, my show, my brand, my family, the company that I work for, and anything like that. Again, I'm not talking about Shannon right now. I'm talking about what people say when it comes to people like myself and others.
And now, just in case you are somehow out of the loop about what has been going on with Shannon, he just got sued for SA and DV by his ex-girlfriend, Gabriela Zuniga, who he was indulging in BDSM freak-offs with when she was just 20 and he was 57. To make matters even worse, she linked up with the same attorney who was going up against Jay-Z a few months ago, and they are not holding back from dropping receipts about what Shannon did. Gabriela claims in her suit pursuit that Shannon used to get so aggressive that one time she thought she wasn't gonna make it out of his house alive because she saw a firearm lying around within arm's reach as he screamed in her face during a very heated argument over her sharing her location with her family whenever she came to see him. The court documents read, plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, but Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing kill you." As if this wasn't bad enough, he was also cheating on her, and when she confronted him about it, he SA'd her and threatened to take her life. So if y'all remember, a video went viral last year of Shannon and his side piece getting freaky after he accidentally went live while they were in the act. Well, it turns out that the woman wasn't Gabriella, and she was pissed when she found out Shannon had been cheating on her the whole time, so she tried to break up with him. Shannon wasn't having it, and he eventually went as far as tricking Gabriella to come to his house and then proceeded to SA her in the hole multiple times as she screamed for him to stop. Gabriella claims Shannon went on to SA her in the over and over again, and the latest one was actually on January 2nd of this year, right before she broke up with him for good and decided to get in touch with Tony Busby to file a lawsuit against him. Shannon, of course, denied the entire thing and tried to discredit Tony and Gabriella by bringing up the fact that Tony tried to sue Jay-Z too, as if that has something to do with anything. Shannon claimed that in his statement, he and Gabriella had an agreement to engage in BDSM freak-offs, and they have actually had over 100 of them. However, she decided to start recording some of them without his knowledge and editing them in ways that make it look like he was hurting her when everything was actually consensual.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
His lawyer even put out some messages between him and Gabriella in which she was saying things like, "I want to put my tongue in your hole and then marry you. And that's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. I want to be a daddy. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though." But here's the thing though, Shannon's lawyer conveniently left out some messages and audio messages that incriminated Shannon, and Tony Busby wasted no time putting them out. He also revealed that despite Shannon denying the allegations, he actually offered Gabriella $10 million as hush money, but she turned it down. Sharpe offered Jane Doe $10 million to settle her case that she rejected. She chose to file her case instead. I'm proud to be her lawyer. I didn't seek her out as a client or target anyone, and Sharpe is well aware of that. Tony also put out this extremely incriminating video of Shannon threatening to choke the life out of Gabriella after she called him out on manipulating her. He also put out additional text messages that Shannon's lawyer, Lanny Davis, conveniently left out. In those messages, she was going off on him for allegedly SAing her in the back hole without protection or consent from her. The messages read, "But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. I don't know how to process this."
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna poke the shit for you when I see you. Thank you.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
This changed things for a lot of people, and they felt like Shannon thought he could just do whatever he wanted to her simply because they had BDSM intercourse. And Tony wasn't done, y'all. He also put out another video in which Shannon threatened to choke Gabriella again, but this time he said he wasn't gonna do it in public.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Daddy.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
Shannon's lawyer also stepped in to help with the PR by claiming that the fact that Shannon offered Gabriella $10 million doesn't mean he's guilty. He said it only means Shannon was trying to not make his bedroom business a public thing. And now, I don't know about y'all, but $10 million is a lot of money to just give someone who you claim doesn't have anything on you. No one is out here giving anyone $10 million if they don't think the evidence against them was enough to destroy them.
Shannon Sharpe's lawyer is Lanny Davis, and he echoes his client and calls the whole thing a shakedown. Why would Shannon Sharpe offer $10 million to someone who is allegedly shaking him down?
Thank you for that question. It's amazing how many people have asked me that question, so you have good company.
Okay, but it's the obvious one. It's the one that jumps out at you. If someone accuses me of something horrible, I'm not offering them a dime.
So what's the definition of blackmail? Why do people who are talking about blackmail pay money? It's because what is about to be revealed was a private act that could embarrass them and their family and hurt their reputation and their business. So blackmail, by definition, is paying money when you're innocent. If anyone wants to look at the definition of blackmail, interview 1,000 people who've been in blackmail situations who pay the money when they're totally innocent. So the answer to your question is that totally innocent people who are under a threat of blackmail, which is defined as revealing something privately that will embarrass or harm them, are willing to pay money even though they're 100% innocent. You can find 1,000 people easily who have been in the same position as Shannon Sharpe and makes the unfortunate and difficult choice of paying money when he's innocent in order to protect his family, his business, and his reputation.
And just when we thought things couldn't get any worse for Shannon, a new SA lawsuit just popped up against him. And just like the one with Gabriella, it doesn't look like he's getting out of it easily. This new lawsuit was actually reportedly filed in 2023 by his ex-girlfriend of 10 years, Michelle Evans. But it was brought up again recently after people started talking about this case with Gabriella. Michelle claims Shannon violated her all the way from 2010 till they finally broke up in 2020. She said back in 2010, she and Shannon were having a heated argument about his infidelity, when Shannon forced her on her knees and proceeded to force her into having an oral freak-off with him. But it didn't end there. According to the lawsuit, Shannon maneuvered her onto the bed and proceeded to have non-consensual while delivering a chilling message. He told me he was gonna make it so no other man would want me. I don't know if y'all see the pattern, but this is very similar to the allegations Gabriella also made about Shannon SAing her right after she confronted him about cheating on her with the woman he was caught sleeping on IG Live with. Michelle said she tried to go public with what Shannon allegedly did to her, but when she told him what she was going to do, he sent people to her house to threaten her into keeping quiet. He threatened to destroy my life. He told me he would use everyone he knew to ruin me. I had a basement apartment with a door that led straight to the sidewalk. One night, someone came right up to my door and said, "Shut up, effing B." I dropped the restraining order right then because I had a child in that home. There was no way I could risk it. In fact, back in 2010, when all this allegedly happened, she had a restraining order against Shannon Sharpe, but after he sent people to come to her house, she dropped it out of fear. Fast forward to 2023, she finally got the courage to come out again with the allegations, and then finally put it in a lawsuit against Shannon. Now, when it comes to Diddy, it's unclear what the exact content of his message to Shannon was, or how he even got in contact with him in the first place since he's in jail, but sources close to them claim it had something to do with him warning Shannon about how some industry executives are gearing up to destroy him because they don't like how this show has become the big platform for dirty industry players to get exposed. In fact, Shannon himself seemingly confirmed this when he revealed not too long ago that even his infamous interview with Cat Williams was aired. His producer told him that the interview was going to cause him some serious issues. And he wasn't lying, because Shannon claimed that right after that interview went up, he was receiving multiple threats from people, with some of them demanding for him to take it down.
Remember when I did Cam, I remember getting up and I turned back and I look at my Cat, and I look at my producer and he's shaking his head. I'm like, oh man, we done messed up. So I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
Did I say something? Did he? He like, this is gonna be the talk of 24.
No way.
I'm like, you think so? He's like, shit. And he's looking at me just like I'm looking at you, Cam. He's like, Shannon, this is gonna be viral for the whole year. I said, come on, man. I said, so I'm thinking at that point in time, Steve Harvey is my biggest viewed, is my most viewed podcast. He's at 8 million. I said, you think we're gonna beat Steve? He's like, yeah. I'm hoping for 10 million.
Yeah.
That's all, Cam, if I get 10 million, I'm like, that's a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
Think about how few people that's in this space that interview people that don't get 10 million.
For sure.
So if I get 10 million, that's one of the biggest podcasts. Now, that's not Joe Rogan's numbers, but that's pretty good for an up-and-coming podcast. Right. So I felt good. Man. But here's the thing I tell people, if I'd have had Cat mic'd up from the time he got out of the truck until the time he sat down, it'd have done 100 million. Oh, he was on it. And I just like damn. Cause I went back and I'm like, damn, he said that? Where was I? He was saying so much that I'm like, but Kim, I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember, he said it. He said, this is gonna put you in another dimension.
He definitely did.
He said,
but my mama said, boy, there's power in the tongue.
Yes. He said, he told me, and my guy Jordan is over there, he said, now they're gonna come for you. I said, can't come for me for what? I didn't say anything.
Right.
He said, they're gonna come. And they're gonna say a lot of different things. And they're gonna be some people that you thought you might be able to get, that they're not gonna come now.
Right.
And that's absolutely has happened. That's absolutely has happened. They were so excited. Thanks for reaching out. We can't wait to sit down. And a day later, they can't do it. And then no call, they won't follow. So for the song.
The industry has finally had it out for him, and he made it easy for them to get to him by indulging in things he was indulging in. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, everyone tried to warn this man. Monique said, get you a girl that's gonna make you neck bones, and he thought it meant choking a 19-year-old. Another person said, bro, you got played by someone born in 2005. Bro, she a whole child compared to this man. Shaking my head. But now I wanna know your thoughts. What do you think about Diddy sending a warning to Shannon? And do you think Shannon is being set up by the industry, or is he really guilty? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.